What's going on, guys? It's Pat Daly with TrueTransient.com coming at you today from Warsaw, Poland. Today I'm bringing you an interview with a very special guest, Anthony Dream Johnson. Anthony is the founder of the 21 Convention. He started it when he was 17, and since then it's been held on 3 continents throughout the world. It's the men's conference of the century. Me and Anthony sat down here in Warsaw and we had a chat about his conference, about travel, adventure, masculinity, femininity, Poland, how it's different from the West. And I'm very excited to bring it to you today. So let's go ahead and roll that interview. Boom. People are gonna be like, what happened to this channel?
Like, that's what they did on my last video.
Why do you have this racist, misogynistic, homophobe on you?
Right. It's a brisk one out. All right, we rolling, we good? What's going on, guys? It's Pat Daly from TrueTransient.com. We are out here today in Warsaw, Poland. Amazing time. It's a little cold. We got some caffeine. We're getting it cracking. And I'm here with Anthony Dream Johnson. What's up, man? Yeah, glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Glad to be out here too, man.
For sure. We've been having a good time.
Really good time.
Yeah.
This has been epic out here.
Yeah, so
good.
We're here in Poland. Anthony Dream Johnson is the founder of the 21 Convention. Do you want to explain to our people here what the 21 Convention is?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of 21 Convention and 21 Studios and a couple of things related to that, like 21 University. I started it when I was 17 years old, about 12 years ago, 12 and a half now.
Cool.
Yeah, I stuck with girls. I found the pickup community, and a few months after finding it, I had the idea when I got to Orlando, UCF, to do like a meetup group for young men my age that were in the pickup community so we could learn from each other. That quickly spawned into an entire convention, people throwing ideas at me. Film team, volunteer film team, audio team, we had speakers come out, famous pickup coaches, dating coaches, shit like that.
Right, and now you've been to many different countries with the 21 Convention.
Yep.
What, Sweden, London?
Yeah, we've done the convention on 3 continents, 4 countries, and 2 states, including Texas and Florida, and all over Florida. Tampa, Orlando, Miami, Austin, Texas, Melbourne, Australia, Stockholm, Sweden, twice in London, and soon in Warsaw, Poland. Yep. We've done the convention 15 times around the world, and the biggest one we had was a few months ago that you got to attend, and that was in October 2018.
Okay.
I call it lately the Woodstock of the manosphere.
Okay, right.
Fuck yeah.
And the topics covered essentially are what? Entrepreneurship, dating, relationships, it's philosophy, culture.
I call it the world's ultimate event for men because it's and one of the reasons I call it that is it's very comprehensive. Mm-hmm. It's deep, it's philosophic, it's serious shit, and it's comprehensive, so it's across the board for men and masculinity. So entrepreneurship, business, career, dating, relationships, marriage, family, health and fitness, and then kind of oddball things too I'll bring in. We had, for example, in 2017 at the 10-year anniversary, we had an FBI agent come in, ex-FBI, Joe Navarro, body language expert, famous dude.
Yeah,
so
read his book.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of really psychologists, medical doctors, dating coaches, like it's wild, and authors and all kinds of stuff.
Awesome. So yeah, we're out here in Warsaw, Poland. The convention is coming to Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah.
And when is that going to happen?
That's going to be in July. We're here right now, of course, touring venues, hotels, picking the exact date, exact location. Mm-hmm. But it'll definitely be in Warsaw. It definitely will be in July 2019.
Cool.
First time in Eastern Europe, Central Europe, and first time back in Europe with the convention since 2012. So it's been a while.
Awesome.
I'm focused on America and shit in the meantime.
Great. Cool.
Yep.
So yeah, I wanted to have Anthony Johnson on the show today. We've had a bunch of travel experiences, myself traveling around the world in some crazy situations, alternative forms of travel, hitchhiking in the United States, canoeing, attempting to canoe to Mexico from New York City, but making it to Georgia, canoeing 800 miles down the East Coast. We wanted to kind of talk about those travel adventures a little bit, and also Anthony here, what he's doing with the convention and his philosophies. Anthony is probably one of the most raw, savage, like non-politically correct guys. You can tell by his hat. The people are probably like, what is this hat? Yeah. We'll get to the hat, okay? I kind of want to leave that. But Anthony is like not politically correct at all. He has a mission and he goes full bore towards that mission, something that I really admire in him. He's a high risk guy. We talked about, the other day, we talked about how you like to go after high risk
Fuck yeah.
situations.
I appreciate that too from a guy who canoed 800 miles.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
almost died and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. So,
And I want to mention too, I've done a lot of traveling like you, but it's mostly been for business. Some personal, mostly for
Right.
business though. So it's kind of a different perspective on traveling than you've had, which has been much more personal and like really alternative, like you said, hitchhiking. I haven't done that kind of shit, but I have, traveled to Australia, to Indonesia, to Europe, many times now, South America, Central America.
right.
So I've done a lot of traveling too, and it's kind of cool. I think that we both done that in different ways.
Yeah, I often say it's adventure is a great rite of passage. I think
Yeah.
every young man should do a solo travel adventure, and that's what a lot of the content on my channel, although I haven't posted in a while, is kind of centered around of it was my coming of age story really
Yeah.
unfolding.
Yep.
And solo travel was how I did that. Solo travel, alternative forms of travel were how I did that. And it really kind of changed me. I think
Yeah.
a lot of men today are missing, they're just lost and confused.
Yeah, and real travel, I think an adventure is a way to do that. A lot
Right.
of people travel and it's like this Instagram fake bullshit. It's like it's signaling, it's virtue signaling or travel signaling or some shit. But I've done something similar with my adventure has been in traveling in part, but then also primarily in business, and that
Right.
then coincided with traveling pretty well, all
Right.
around the world. Adventure is a really good way to put it too. Travel sounds a little, it's really adventure is what the point is.
Yeah.
That's when it's genuine, it's raw, it's like cool ass shit.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I've done some personal shit too, though. Like in Panama, or Costa Rica, I got lost on the side of a volcano for like a whole day.
Okay.
That was really dangerous shit. Maybe not as dangerous as canoeing 800 miles, but yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
serious shit. We could have died.
For sure. Yeah, that's when I've heard someone said adventure is what starts to happen when everything goes wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
fuck yeah. Yeah.
There's so many people do travel and they go on tours, guided tours, and
Cruise ships and shit.
I wanted to head out and not have a guided tour.
Yeah. Exactly.
Be my own guide, and
Yeah,
then let
yeah.
things happen to me reacting to events
Yeah.
in that moment. And that's what you do
Yeah.
with business, essentially.
Yeah, pretty
I think
much.
I think that can be a great replacement. For adventure, it's kind of the same. A substitute. It's the same thing.
Yeah. I see the business in part as my own adventure.
Right.
Like, that's just the form for me it's taken. I think everyone needs to have a rite of passage on that, and traveling or adventure is one way to do that, or business. Something that's going to challenge you to the core.
Right.
And probably be pretty fucking risky. How that'll map out in real life is it's going to differ, but yeah, it's got to be raw, and you need a rite of passage, which historically for men we did have that. That was normal in most cultures for like thousands of years. It's only recently that it's gone away and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Although we're both from Florida, so we're both like freezing.
Yeah.
Especially me.
Yeah, I'm like shaking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's like 1 degree Celsius or something, 0 degrees or something like that. But cool. So why do you feel that you started the 21 convention
Yeah.
at 17, right?
Yeah.
And
So
now, how old are
organizing
you?
it. I'm 30 now.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
and it's kind of snowballed. It started as
Oh yeah.
a pickup thing
Yeah.
for men, and then it snowballed into something way bigger.
Well,
Hundreds of attendees.
Even at the first convention, it's always, the beginning, it was mostly about picking up women, like that element. Well, let me say this. People do characterize it. It's not wrong to say it was about pickup, but in my head, it was always more fundamental. It was about men and women and male-female relationships specifically. And that took the form early on of like picking up women. But even then, like relationships got a little bit of play, and fitness too at the first convention. There was a fitness talk, fitness and like style.
Cool.
Even, 2007. So it's always been a little bit comprehensive, and then the comprehensive angle that snowballed over time along with many other things, like the locations.
Right.
The more locations we did, the more comprehensive the conference got. More speakers we had, more diversity of thought, not this fake diversity bullshit you see now on the internet and stuff. So,
Cool. So yeah, it's essentially a place where men can go and talk about issues that only men can understand, right?
Yeah.
In a certain sense.
It's a male space.
A lot of people won't like what I just said there.
Yeah.
That like men can only talk about certain things and they can understand,
Yeah.
right? Like you could talk to a woman about something that you're going through or whatever, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for you guys to relate to a certain degree because you're not
Yeah. It's
the same gender, right?
Yeah. I mean, being, what sex you are is fundamental to your entire life as a human being. And I think that's why the convention in part is designed the way it is. It's an entire conference of mansplaining. Usually not to women, usually to ourselves, but it's all men talking.
Right.
And men getting together and talking about man shit.
Cool.
And there's women there too a little bit. My sister comes a lot. She's known to be there a lot. Wives and girlfriends, people like that. So women are welcome in that specific component, but 99% of it is men. And there's no apology for men being there and talking amongst each other, very masculine shit. And when you have that kind of environment, I think you get a very special, unique kind of conversation going, kind of like locker room stuff, In a locker room where there's just men, it's a little different than if there's like a camera rolling or if there's like women involved and shit. Yeah. It's the locker room talk,
So it's the 20 convention is locker room talk.
It is the ultimate locker room talk.
Right, that's great.
But then we film it and put that out. Oh, by the way, so all the videos are free to the world, or eventually they go free to the world. So they're famous on YouTube, 21 Studios. We're about to crack 200,000 subscribers in a few days.
Wow.
That's exciting. It's been 11 years in the making.
Millions of views.
Millions and millions of views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those videos are free, the speeches. We put out little previews, put the full videos out. We have podcasts, interviews, all kinds of shit.
Maybe we can address the elephant in the room, the hat, Make Women Great Again, and then we can pop into Poland and stuff. Because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what the hat is about. What does that mean? And a lot of people are probably triggered by it, like make women great again. Aren't women already great? What is that? So if you want to tell us what make women great again means to you.
Yeah, it means a lot. It's something that I actually was introduced to me by one of our speakers, Richard Nikolai, a few months ago, back in, October 2018, maybe late September. So he had a hat similar to this he had posted on Facebook. And I just loved it immediately for 1,000 different reasons. So we'll get through it. One of the biggest ones I've used it now for is I'm building an entire convention with it. Well, as a subtitle, as a theme, a focus and an atmosphere and everything, like a mission. And that's going to be the 22 convention instead of the 21 convention. That 22 convention is an idea I had back in 2015, so a long time ago. But I wanted to wait to put it together because I knew I was lacking this. I was lacking that mission. I was lacking that fundamental direction I needed to take a conference for women. So I knew I would do it someday. I was like, I don't know when I'm going to do it. But then I saw this and I was like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So it came together pretty fast. I put it on. I introduced this hat to the world in my speech. We need to make women great again. At the 21 convention 2018, people gave it roaring applause. One of the wives of the speakers ran out and was the first person to ever buy it. So a woman actually bought it before the men did. The men loved it too. Yeah. They were going ape shit. They were walking around later at night at the party we had at Sock's house. They were like, my God.
Yeah,
this is taking off. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So to me, fundamentally though, independent of the 22 convention coming spring 2020 in Orlando, Florida, ladies, get your tickets.
Yeah.
It's a conference for women we're doing. By the way, all the speakers are men at that too. So that's going to be the ultimate mansplaining event.
The ultimate mansplaining event.
The mansplaining event of the century.
Okay.
It's actually, we're titling it that basically.
Very triggering, very triggering.
So I see this as the cultural component to MAGA. Obviously it's a play off, Make America Great Again. Donald Trump made that famous. Also said by Reagan and other presidents too. But this is the cultural component to I see that as a political revolution going on, and I'm very happy to see it. I'm very pro-Trump, obviously. And this to me is a cultural, gender component to it. I think women in America, not just America in the West, so Canada, Australia, Western Europe, they've really fallen, and men have fallen too. So people say, why do you want to make men great again? I'm like, I do. I've been doing that for 12 years.
Right, and now you're moving on.
And on top of that, independent of my company is an organization that I built, the #1 media organization in the manosphere, in my opinion. That's just part of a larger movement called the manosphere that has millions of men in it. That's the pickup, and it has sub-tribes, subgroups. It's got the Red Pill community. The MGTOWs are famous on YouTube. They're really all over the place, right? You have the men's rights activists have their own little tribe going on. Then you have, of course, the PUA community, famous from the VH1 show, the book, The Game, all that. Okay. And people have different opinions on these little movements, but the manosphere is huge. And I think the manosphere has been very positive for men. I have different opinions on each group, but it's been very positive for men. And it's helped healing, the brainwashing and the blue pill lies and the feminist propaganda that men have received, especially millennials, their whole life.
Yeah.
You grew up hearing all this Disney, blue pill bullshit that makes you horrible with women and fucks your life up, and you end up getting divorced, raped, and all that shit.
Okay.
Or you suck with girls. There's 1,000 outcomes of that, right?
And you're throwing out a lot of terms
yeah,
that probably not a lot of people will know. But what's cool is that the 21 Convention, 21 Studios, their content talks all about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
If there's anything that you find interesting, go over to 21 Convention YouTube channel, and you can learn all about this stuff if it piques your interest.
And subscribe.
And subscribe, like and subscribe,
fuck
comment. Hell yeah. Cool.
But
so
this is really important to me, MAGA, but especially MAGA.
Okay.
Make women great again. I really think that women have fallen, and they've fallen, I think, a little bit harder and farther than men. They're really lost. So men and women both are lost in the West today.
Yeah.
So and men have been partly responsible for that, right? We've enabled feminism and all this, which I think is a really toxic, hateful movement, to really fester into this like noxious, huge snowball of shit. And that's hurting men and women and families and the country and the future of the world we live in. And I don't like that. I want to change that. I want to stop it. Make things better and make a better future. The future is masculine. So Make Women Great Again, I think, is the ultimate. It's the ultimate thing. One of the ultimate things I've done, I think, in my life is put this together, and I put that conference together. I'm really excited for it, the 22 convention. And we need to help. Women need help. They need leadership.
Yeah.
And they look to men for that. And this is us doing that. And that's part of why we're in Poland too. This is I've been stunned being here, seeing the women here and how they operate. I think it's a great example of what this can do for women.
Right. Let's talk about Poland here. We're both out in Poland. I work with Anthony. He's one of my clients for video production and everything. So we're out here doing some work in Poland, and it's been quite a eye-opening experience, right?
Oh yeah.
How have you seen Poland being different from the United States?
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin or stop.
Right.
It's not completely different. It's Central Eastern Europe, but it feels like a Western nation. I believe they do consider themselves like a Western nation, right? It's very first world developed. It's fucking beautiful. I love it. I'm just stunned. We've been here almost a week now, like 6 days, I think. And it's unbelievable. The people, the culture, it's very fundamental. Like on a day-to-day basis, I've never seen anything like this too. I've traveled to over 20 countries. Panama, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Australia, Indonesia, Sweden, all over the Europe and stuff, Germany, Amsterdam, and I've never seen anything like this. I'm fucking floored.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome.
So in terms of, I guess, male-female relationships or something, how is that
basically
different?
I think men and women in the West and in America, particularly in America, I think it's probably the worst. There's a couple reasons we get into for that, but men and women don't get along. Like, there's basically, Rollo Tomasi, one of our speakers, is focusing on what he calls a gender war. He's hashtagging it, talking about it. It's a big theme of what he's focusing on as an author and a blogger. And he's right. There's like a gender war, and you see that expressed in like the Me Too stuff, the Brett Kavanaugh stuff. 1,000 different things in America right now in culture. And here you don't feel that. There's not this like underlying like hateful tension and resentment for one another. Women get along with men, and men get along with women. Women here act like women, in my opinion. Men here act like men. The men are tough. They're fucking masculine.
Yeah.
There's very little like weak soy boy shit going on.
That's what I've realized is living in a place like Vietnam, Southeast Asia, where I'm physically superior to most people living there. I'm taller, I'm a little bigger, everything like that, versus Poland, where it's actually flipped on its head. The guys are pretty tall, pretty big, and they're tough. And
I saw a bunch of Chads last night, 1,000 of them at the club.
Chads everywhere, man. I was getting a burger last night at a food truck, and I'm waiting in line, and then all these dudes just keep coming up and butting me in line and ordering burgers, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, what the heck?
The men here are very aggressive too.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like they're not. I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Like it's an honest aggression. Like if you fuck up or do something with a chick of theirs, they'll get in your face.
Right.
They're not gonna throw it out immediately, but they will if they have to.
Right.
And we've seen fights almost every night we go out, we see a fight.
And it's not going to be like unwarranted, is what you're saying, for the most part, at least with what we've seen.
Yeah, it's legit. It's, men being men, and you don't see that as much in America. All this like liability, like lawsuit shit. Here, they'll fucking end a fight. Yeah. And I don't see any weapons. I don't see any guns going on. It's just dudes fighting sometimes.
Right.
And it's kind of cool.
Right. So then, the men are different in that way, more tougher, more physically physically intimidating in some sense.
And they're not confused. They know how to act like men. They're not apologetic about it. It's hard to imagine men here apologizing for their own toxic masculinity. They'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Right.
And just keep walking.
Yeah. They're just like,
yeah,
I'm me, I'm a man. You know, there's no confusion, right?
I am who I am. I'm going to express myself as a man, and you get the fuck out of my way. Thanks for coming to Poland.
So that I often see that women and men will kind of react to each other in how they act, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
they're polarized too.
Right.
Yeah.
So that changes women. How do you see that?
Well, to me, it's just the mirror image in a positive sense. It's almost the same for women here.
Mm-hmm.
They're not apologetic about being women. Whereas in America, women are confused. They don't know how to act like a woman. They don't know how to be feminine and graceful and beautiful. Here, there's a good sense of that, and they don't. They're not trying to act like men. They don't want to. They want to act like women.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, they're not bitchy and annoying, and disgruntled or frustrated with their sex life or dating life.
Mm-hmm.
They're just women acting like women, and they're happy.
Right.
They're cheerful. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, everyone seems pretty content and secure with themselves here.
Yeah.
We were just talking about women changing their look a lot in the United States, dyeing their hair and everything.
Yep.
The girls are kind of just proud of how they naturally
Exactly.
look and their femininity. I see them wearing dresses and kind of...
It's everything. The way they walk, the way they talk.
Mm-hmm.
They're proud to be Polish. They're proud to be women. They're happy. They want to all have babies here and stuff. We were touring a hotel the other day for the conference, and there was a whole convention going on for like how to getting pregnant and stuff.
Yeah.
These women are just like, super excited to have babies and make families.
Yeah.
And there's totally focused on it. I mean, not all of them literally, but a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. It's very traditional
way
in a sense.
more. Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome. I'm in love with this place.
Yeah.
Best country I've ever seen outside of America.
Cool.
Like I think I love America, but Western culture is kind of sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little flu going on, a little cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just cut that then.
This culture though is like healthy,
Yeah. So you American culture is kind of sick. If you want to expand on that, like what I know, men, and the reason this matters to me is that when I started YouTube, and I know you definitely get this times 10. I got a lot of young men, specifically young men, reaching out to me and being like praising my videos, like, hey. I watched this one video and I decided not to commit suicide, like crazy stuff like that.
Yep.
Even asking me questions of like making life decisions, big questions they would ask me, and I'm like, dude, I'm just some guy in Asia running.
Canoe guy.
I just like hopped in a freaking canoe.
Yeah.
So I know you get that a lot, and that opened my eyes. And I think a lot of creators see that are men.
And behind every guy that asks you that kind of question, there's 10 more that didn't ask it.
Exactly.
But they thought it and they had it. Because you impacted them in basically the same way or similar.
And a lot of people don't know that suicide rates for young men are increasing.
Yeah, they're huge.
Right? People don't see the problem.
Yeah. They don't even want to know about it. They don't want to care. They don't put their head in the sand. Yeah. Men kill themselves like 4 to 5 times the rate women do, and we succeed at it. Women have a lot of attempted suicide, but men really do kill themselves. It's crazy. It's fucked up. It's a huge problem. No one talks about it.
Right. So that, I guess that's a symptom of American Western culture. Which you say is sick. What are kind of some other symptoms, I guess?
First, I love America with a deep passion.
Right.
I'm ride or fucking die, live free or die, 100%.
Right.
But I'd say America, and it's not just America, it's the West. It's Canada too, it's Australia, it's the UK, it's all that shit. Yeah. It's got a little flu, it's got a little cold, and it's had it for a while. And that cold is called feminism, basically.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that, but yeah, big one.
Right.
And so, the culture, men and women don't get along. It's just fucked up. I've been out picking up women, approaching women since 2006, 2005, 2006. And things are getting worse. Like the way dating operates, the way men and women interact, all the kinds of statistics with divorce and relationships and infidelity, all the shit, just fucked up. And here in Poland, we don't see that. So I'd say, culture is sick. There's a gender war going on. It's not good. It's not healthy. It's going to change. It's got to change. And in Poland, I see Poland as a healthy culture. It's one of the first things I said when I got here. I tweeted it on my Twitter account, @BeachMuscles. Yeah. And it really is. Like American culture, as much as I love it, there's big problems with it. Poland's not perfect either. I'm not naive about that. I'm not stupid. This place has got, it's had a lot of trauma and bad history here too. They were invaded by the Nazis and the Russians and the Soviets and shit. It got all fucked up. But now it's been free of Soviet control for decades, and it's a very healthy culture. Healthy people, they're proud to be Polish, they love their country, they love, men and women get along. It's amazing to see it. We walk around the city, we see babies and toddlers and families and shit all the time.
Yeah, and the kids are so well behaved.
I've never seen children this well behaved in my life.
Yeah.
It is unreal.
People are just content. They're not like fake happy, like where in America it's like put on a smile.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You feel like shit.
Yeah.
They're just. I was telling you. I went to. I was at like a 7-Eleven equivalent store here. Zabka. And I was buying something that was 2 zlota, and I paid with a bigger bill.
Yeah.
I was trying to, and the cashier looked at me when I presented the bill. He's like, really?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like they're just real here.
Yeah, they're real.
I was like, okay, I'll use my card. But,
these are honest people.
right.
As good as you're gonna get. You have to watch out for bullshit. These are honest people, I'd say.
And there's a health to that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But I say I'm an objectivist philosophically, like my religion. And in objectivism, we say that existence exists and only existence exists. And that's why honesty is important. There's only reality and that's it. There is no like non-reality. It either exists or it fucking doesn't. So that's to me why honesty is important on a philosophic, personal level. And I see that expressed here in this country, and that's big part of the reason I think they're very healthy. That's why they have families and they're happy, and the women are happy to be happy, or happy to be women. The men are happy to be men.
Right.
And it's just beautiful to see it, man, all around us, like all the time.
And it's a balance. It's a great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a polarized balance.
Cool.
It works really well.
Cool, man. So appreciate you chatting and telling us about your philosophies and the 21 convention and the good work that you're doing to make men great. You've been doing that, positive media for men. Yeah. And then moving on to women. Yeah. And changing the world.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. So
I appreciate being on the channel too, man. Huge fan of Too Transient.
Yeah.
Great fucking channel.
Yeah. So you can find Anthony Dream Johnson and all the speakers, all the keynote speeches and great work that he's doing at
the 21convention.org. That's .org. There'll be a link under the description too, right? In the video.
Yep.
So.
Great. And then youtube.com/21 for the YouTube stuff. So cool.
And my Instagrams and all that, it's all beach muscles.
Okay.
So anywhere on the internet you want to find me, just type beach muscles. You'll pull me up. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. All right, man. Good
Thanks,
stuff.
man. Fuck yeah.
Awesome.